This is a video response to the Kirblog video, The Pixar Trick. There's a link to that video in the description. First of all, I wanted to say I've been following your Tome series ever since J-Monius told me about it a couple of years ago when we were talking about how people have the freedom to become cartoonists using any consumer software and making their own animated web series. I admire that you stick with animating in your own style and writing in your own way. On to the topic at hand, I know all too well the problems you describe. Some of my friends will say, "This doesn't make sense," or "Why are they doing this?" or the always popular "It doesn't work that way," or "People don't talk like that." To me, it just sounds like they're starting to develop an interest in something outside their comfort zone, and in a knee-jerk fashion trying way too hard to make themselves stop it. However, when they show me a series that they already like, they'll throw all those quips out the window, no matter how illogical or continuity-breaking the series gets. I generally don't say those kinds of things because I like to watch or play quietly and talk about any weird details in quantitative terms afterwards, and in such a way that I like to address those topics in such a way that I don't look like I'm trying to pull them out of their immersion in their favorite thing. To me, the first example of logic breaking in video games or in fantasy is gold. When you're little and you play games, you get silver armor, or gold armor, or a glass sword, and you think, cool, it's made of some unusual or valuable stuff. It looks cool, and it has really good stats. And when you grow up, you find out that gold doesn't work that way, and maybe you wonder for a while why the computer programmers that developed this game decided that silver or gold would be a good material for armor, or glass for a sword, but you usually get to the conclusion that you had when you were little. It's cool, and it's fantasy. And while you enjoyed the game for the story it told, or the gameplay environment it provided you, others will take great pains making scientific videos and blog posts describing how the portrayal of gold ruined the entire experience for them, how it should ruin the entire experience for you, and that this whole sad, sordid crime against entertainment could have been averted had they named the material Magicalite or something. Recently, a friend of mine, a big fan of the Persona series, was playing Xenoblade for the first and last time. Mild spoilers, by the way, regarding general details for both of those series, if anyone hasn't played or if they otherwise care. So anyways, this guy just can't wrap his head around why the adult characters in Xenoblade don't have a set of sad or mourning voice clips recorded to play for the rest of the game after a party member dies. Because they've obviously been heavily traumatized by the loss of someone close to them, and it should affect them realistically. That the characters are forced into running around in the grand scheme of things and can't afford to mope around over the loss of one life isn't a factor to them. They have to consider a death or several in the grand scheme of things until the circumstances around those deaths roll back around to meet them personally and head on. There was all this game to enjoy in front of them, the battles, the customizations, the huge world, the tons of little stories that might end in comedy, tragedy, or just a plain old happy ending. And of course, the characters whose friendships developed throughout all this, but he was having none of it because they weren't terminally depressed. When it comes to his favorite Persona series, however, all is forgiven, where a bunch of school-age children watch their friends get possessed by demons or horrifically shredded to bits in front of them, blurt out the Japanese equivalent to "Oh my god, they killed Kenny," then 2 seconds later they're gallivanting around a flat rat maze dungeon and happily shouting, "It's time for an all-out attack, guys! Yay, desu!" Anyways, I just wanted to say that the problem you described is very real. And a lot of people are quite familiar with the practice of forgetting about that whole suspension of disbelief thing when it comes to things that should be categorized under fantasy and not realistic simulation of real human psychology within realistic realism with an extra helping of reality on top. Thanks for doing what you do. I'm always looking forward to your videos, whether they're Kirblogs, cartoons, or whatever else you might come up with.